What's up guys, Infernape here, and welcome back to my best team series, where I go over what I believe is statistically the best team to use in a certain Pokemon game. Last time we went over X and Y, now we're going over Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. For those who are new, what I do to make best teams is I look at all of the important trainers that are found in the game. Those being the gym leaders, the rivals, the evil teams, the Elite Four, and the champions. Then I find out common weaknesses, then I pinpoint what are the best types to use in that game based on the type weaknesses that show up the most often. Then I make the best team based around the Pokemon that can be found in the main game. Now this is going to be quite a fun team, I'm not going to lie. I personally am fairly decent with this team, like, not the best, not the worst out of the ones I've done so far, but it's pretty decent. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, what your favourite member of the team was, if you would rearrange my best team in any way, shape or form, and if you have any video suggestions for the future, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. So without further ado, let's get into the video! Time to pick our starter Pokemon. And if you know the game fairly well, the starter Pokemon to pick from are Trico, Torchic and Mudkip. This one I feel like is going to be very popular because it's the meme culture. Everyone in the meme culture is going to love me for picking this choice. If you haven't guessed, my choice is Swampert. Swampert is a perfect Pokemon to start off with because of the fact it has two types that we need for the game. Water types and ground types are very needed for this playthrough due to the fact we need to surf everywhere and the fact that we're going to be taking on quite a few opponents that are weak to ground types. So I thought, why not just combine the two? There are other water ground type options out there, but I feel like getting this soonest one possible makes the most sense. Plus, it's not exactly a bad pick either. Like, Swampert is so powerful. It knows so many great movesets. It's got a very wide move pool and those stats do not lie. You could argue that there are many other Pokemon that could flip at the spot. For example, you could have Pokemon like Pelipper or Camerupt. But you get Camerupt super late and then it becomes kind of irrelevant. And let's be honest, no one wants Toilet Bird. Screw Toilet Bird. So, honestly, when it comes to water types and ground types, your best option is definitely gonna be Swampert. Also, my friends wanted me to give you guys recommended items, even though it seems kind of defeating the point because of the fact that, you know, all these Pokemon are so good already, like, they don't really need items. But if I were to recommend an item for Swampert, I'd probably go with its Mega Stone, because of the fact that its Mega Stone is probably the best item for it. When it Mega Evolves, it becomes an absolute beast. Plus, with the moveset I gave it, it's going to complement it so well. So now I'm going to be going over the moveset that I believe is good for Swampert. Now this moveset is what's going to be its final moveset, so you could teach it attacks until you get to this moveset. I'd recommend going with something that's similar typing, but if you can't, feel free to teach it whatever. For its final moveset, Swampert's moveset is going to be Waterfall, Earthquake, Ice Beam, and Rain Dance. Waterfall because it's a very hard-hitting physical water move, and Swampert is a physical attacker. Earthquake is probably because it's the best stab move that Swampert is going to get. Ice Beam for coverage against grass types that you may encounter, even though there aren't too many grass type encounters that you encounter in the game, but it's good to have. And then there's Rain Dance, which boosts the power of water moves. Plus, when it Mega Evolves, it gains the ability Swift Swim, which ups its speed, which is very needed because Swampert is not exactly the speediest bloke in the world. So, this moveset is going to complement it so well. With this moveset, Swampert is good against Roxanne's team, Watson's team, Flannery's team, Tate and Liza's team, Team Flare's fire types, Tabitha's Camerupt, Courtney's Camerupt, Maxie's Crobat and Camerupt, Archie's Crobat and Mark, May and Brendan's team except for Wailord, Wally's Altaria, Roselia and Magneton, Sydney's Grass types, Drake's team, and Steven's team except for Skarmory. May not seem like a lot, but the fact that he can solo a majority of the important characters' teams is what stands out. Plus, there's no important trainer who has Grass-type Pokemon. So, if you wanted to, you could solo the whole game with Swampert. But obviously we're not going to. Still, that just shows you how good Swampert is in my own opinion. Alright, for the next member, we need both a Psychic type because of the fact that we're going to be taking on a lot of Poison types, and also we're going to need a Fairy type because we're taking on a lot of Dark types as well as quite a few Dragon types later on. And based on that, only one choice was clear. Say hello to the second member, Gardevoir. You can never go wrong with using both a Psychic and a Fairy type in this game. And why not go for the earliest one possible? Not to mention the fact that it evolves super early. Literally, you get this after you go through the first few routes. Like, pretty sure it's either on Route 102 or Route 103. I can't remember which one exactly. But you do get it super early. Plus, when it evolves into a Curlier, as a Rolt, like, it's gonna be brutal. Like, this thing can easily help you take out this fighting type gym leader, because we don't have a flying type yet. Well, we will have a flying type, but we don't have one yet. So, Ralts is kind of your answer to Brawling. Then when it evolves into Curlier and then eventually Gardevoir, it's gonna dominate pretty much every person that it's put up against. If I were to recommend an item for Gardevoir, there's only really one right answer. Give it its Mega Stone. Literally, there's no other better item for Gardevoir than its respective Mega Stone. Mega Gardevoir is gonna dominate the whole game. Literally, it is so powerful, it can take out pretty much any opponent in 1 to 2 attacks. Alright, now for its final moveset. And for Gardevoir's moveset, I'm going with Psychic, Moonblast, Calm Mind, and Shadow Ball. Psychic and Moonblast are obvious, because, you know, stab. Shadow Ball is for coverage against any ghost types it may encounter, and Calm Mind is to up its already amazing special attack, and also have the added benefit of boosting its meh special defense. With this moveset, Gardevoir is good against Brawly's team, we're known as Altaria, Tate and Liza's team, the Evil team's Poison types and Dark types, Shelly's team, Mac's team, Max's team except for Camerupt, Archie's team, Wally's Altaria, Roselia and Gallade, Sydney's team, Phoebe's team, Drake's team, and Steven's Claydol and Metagross. Just like with Swampert, it may not take out a large portion of a lot of trainers, but it does help out quite a lot with quite a few important trainers. Plus, with Swampert and Gardevoir alone, it can take on quite a large variety of the important trainers. So, I feel like Gardevoir is a great addition to the team. For our next Pokemon, I decided to go with a fighting type, because it's also very helpful to have just in case the Fairy type isn't able to take on certain Dark type Pokemon. So I feel like having something to cover both Dark types as well as Rock types, as well as a bunch of other types, would be very helpful to have on hand. Plus, it's also a good counter to normal types too. So I decided to go what I believe is the best fighting type possible that isn't a starter. That being Hariyama. I feel like Hariyama is so underrated. In these games, Hariyama can dominate a lot of people. Plus, since there is a normal type leader, I feel like it's quite essential to have the fighting type Pokemon. Plus, you never know when you might run into another normal type, so this could be very helpful. Plus, the fact that it can take on Rock types, Dark types, and so many other types, I feel like this could be a very helpful member on the team. There are 2 places where you can get a Makuhita. One of them is near Rosborough City, where you can do an in-game trade. So if you really want to do the in-game trade, you can. It's just the fact that you have to keep it under a level cap, so that way it can still obey you. The other is going to Dewford Town to go to that cave right near the gym, and then find one in the wild. Either or is fine. Obviously, since Hariyama can't Mega Evolve, I'm not going to recommend its Mega Stone, so I'm going to recommend two other items. Best I could probably recommend is either getting the Black Belt, which can only be found by, well, Makuhita. Literally, the only way to find a Black Belt is to thief off Makuhita. So, if you really want to, you can. Wouldn't recommend it, but if you desperately want to use the Black Belt, that's how you get it. The other recommendation I can give is probably the Macho Brace, where you get that after you defeat the Windstray family. It'll up its physical attack EVs, but it'll also lower its speed EVs. So, it's a bit of give or take with that one. It all depends on what you want to do. For Hariyama's moveset, I've decided to go with Brick Break, Bulk Up, Rock Slide, and Knock Off. Brick Break for stab, Bulk Up to up its attack and defense, then there's Rock Slide for coverage against flying types, and then there's also Knock Off in case you decide either to take on a Ghost type Pokemon and, you know, Rock Slide isn't powerful enough to do the job. With this moveset, Hariyama is good against Roxanne's team if you do the in-game trade, Watson's Steel types, Norman's team, Winona's team, but I wouldn't recommend it, Tate and Liza's team, but I also wouldn't recommend that, the Evil team's Dark types and Flying types, Shelly's Sharpedo, Matt's Sharpedo, Maxie's Mightyena and Crobat, Archie's team except for Muck, May and Brendan's Swallow and Macargo, Wally's Altaria, Delcatty and Magneton, Sydney's team, Phoebe's team, Glacier's team, Drake's Altaria and Salamence, and Steven's Aggron, Armaldo, Cradilly and Metagross. I feel like this member of the team is a very useful member. We're definitely going to need an electric type on this team, because of the fact we're going to be taking on a lot of characters that use both water types and flying types. And I feel like it makes sense to use the best one possible. That being Manectric. Now I already know what one of my friends is going to be thinking when he sees this video.
Oh boy! Oh boy! A new Robert video came out. Let's just see this and... oh, a new Pokemon video. Manectric? Are you fucking serious? Fucking joking, Manectric's so ass. Why would you ever use it? Angry comment about how stupid Manectric is. How Electrode is way better. I mean, look at Manectric. It's got a stupid forehead anyway. I think it's ugly. It's trash in the playthrough. And Electrode is just the definitive Pokemon to ever use. Matter of fact, I'm extra angry. I'm gonna dislike the video. And I'm unsubscribing. Thank you, Robert the Infernape. You are lost a new subscriber. And I will not be subscribing until you put Electrode in one of your best teams. See you later.
Bloody hell, Jamie, how did you get it? But, yeah, hate to say it, Electrode is not the best electric type to use in this game. In fact, there aren't really many good electric type options, if I'm being totally honest with you. Like, at best, you could use Electrode, but even then, it's really not that good. Like, literally, your best option is Manectric due to the fact that you get it early. Like, I'm pretty sure you don't get Voltorb or Electrode until you take on Team Magma and Team Aqua. Or even then, if you want to find one yourself and go capture one, you have to go to the new Marville. But you don't get new Marville until you've taken out Groudon and Kyogre. So, your best bet is Manectric. Obviously, since Manectric's going to be here, I'm recommending its Megastar. Because of the fact that Manectric is a speedy special attacking powerhouse. And when it Mega Evolves, it becomes an even faster, even hard-hitting speedy attacker. So honestly, there's no other better option for its item. Just whack on the Mega Stone and you're set. For Manectric's final moveset, I'm going to recommend Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Volt Switch, and Hidden Power. Thunderbolt for stab, Flamethrower for coverage against any grass type you may encounter. Volt Switch if you need to make a quick getaway. And Hidden Power is, just in case its hidden power, is something that it can use to take out Pokemon that it may not be good against. For example, if it has the Hidden Power Water or the Hidden Power Ice, teach it Hidden Power. If it doesn't, I'd recommend replacing Hidden Power with Double Team. At least then it can actually do something, so that way, you know, can't get hit. With this moveset, Manectric is good against Winona's team, Wallace's team, the Evil team's flying types, Shelly's Sharpedo, Matt's Sharpedo, Maxie's Crobat, Archie's Crobat and Sharpedo, May and Brendan's Swallow and Wailord, Wally's Magneton, Sydney's Grass types and Sharpedo, Glacier's team, and Steven's Skarmory and Metagross. It's probably the weakest link out of all of them, but an electric type is needed. And honestly, Manectric is your best bet, because other than that, you either get a Pikachu into Raichu and it doesn't really learn too many good attacks, and then your only other option is Plusle and Minun. So yeah, Manectric's probably your only option. Alright, for the next member, we're going to need a flying type, because we need a Pokemon to help us fly around the region. And honestly, I'd think that this flying type is probably your best option when it comes to flying type Pokemon. That being Altaria. I feel like Altaria is a pretty solid option when it comes to flying type Pokemon. Because when it goes from Swablu to Altaria, it'll become a dragon type. And dragon types are pretty powerful. Plus its stat spread doesn't exactly hurt either, and its move pool is quite wide. This is actually the first time where we've got a Pokemon capable of Mega Evolving that I am not going to recommend that you Mega Evolve. Because of the fact that with the moveset that I gave Altaria, I don't think it becoming a Fairy type is exactly the greatest option. Plus, we already have a Fairy type being Gardevoir. So I feel like keeping it as it is fine. If you want to give it an item, I guess maybe give it an item that helps boost either its stab attacks or one of its coverage attacks. For Altaria's moveset, we're going with Dragon Pulse, Fly, Flamethrower, and Earthquake. Dragon Pulse and Fly are for stab, and also Fly is to make sure you can go around the region. Flamethrower for coverage against ice types, and Earthquake is for coverage against rock types. With this moveset, Altaria is good against Winona's Altaria as well as Skarmory if you teach it Overheat before you get Flamethrower, Maxie's Camerupt, Archie's Muck, May and Brendan's Raichu, Magcargo and Sceptile, Wally's team except for Delcatty, Sydney's Grass types, Glacier's team except for Walrein, but I personally wouldn't recommend it, Drake's team, and Steven's Skarmory, Aggron and Metagross. Its kind of purpose is to help us fly around the region, but it does help us take out Sceptile. Alright, for our final member, we're going to need a Dark-type Pokemon, because of the fact that we need something to take out the Ghost-type trainers that come around later on. And I've got the best Dark-type Pokemon possible, because of the fact that the next one is version exclusive, and we don't do version exclusives or trade evolutions in the best teams. So, my Dark-type recommendation for you is Absol. Absol is a brilliant Pokemon to have, and also kind of our only Dark-type option, because of the fact that the other Grass-type options also have the added bonus of being Grass-type Pokemon, and honestly, they are so weak, it's not even funny. So I feel like going with a pure Dark-type is probably our best bet, because it has fewer weaknesses and a wiser move pool. Plus, also has better ability. Super Luck and Pressure, you can't go wrong with either of those abilities. If I had to pick one over the other, I would go Super Luck, because of the moveset that I'm giving it, but Pressure is also a good ability too. And, like always, I'm recommending its Mega Stone, because honestly, Mega Absol is busted. Magic Bounce will reflect any status move straight back to the opponent. You can't go wrong with that. For Absol's moveset, I'm going to go with Night Slash, Psycho Cut, Flamethrower, and X-Scissor. Night Slash is for stab, Psycho Cut is for coverage against fighting types, Flamethrower is for coverage against bug types, and X-Scissor is for coverage against any dark type Pokemon. Plus, since 2 moves have a high crit ratio, that's why I'm recommending going with Super Luck, because it has a higher chance of landing critical hits. And if you combine that with the fact that both moves have a high crit ratio, you're more or less guaranteed to get a critical hit every single time. With this moveset, Absol is good against Tate and Liza's team, the evil team's poison types and dark types, Shelly's team, Matt's Sharpedo, Max's team except for Camerupt, Archie's team, May and Brendan's Sceptile, Wally's Roselia and Magneton, Sydney's team, Phoebe's team, Glacier's team except for Walrein, and Steven's Skarmory, Claydol, and Metagross. And now then guys, hope you enjoyed the video as much as I did. Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below if you enjoyed the video as much as I did making it, if you agree with my best team options, if you would swap them around a little bit, and if you have any video suggestions for the future, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. Also guys, I'm very thankful for the fact that lately I've been getting a lot of views and subscribers on my recent videos, so thank you for that. If you haven't subscribed already, because I know that there are quite a lot of people who watch my videos and haven't subscribed yet, so I would recommend you subscribe to me if you like what I do. It helps me out a lot. And when I hit 400 subscribers, I'll be doing 4 crazy ass dares that you guys suggest, no backing out. So if you like what I do and want to see me do some crazy ass dares when I hit 400 subs, then go and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you know someone who would like what I do, have them subscribe to my channel as well. Did you enjoy the video as much as I did making it? If you did, be sure to give it a massive thumbs up, comment down below, share this video with a friend, and if you're new, subscribe to my channel. It's been Inferno today. Okay, that's all from me, so until the next time, this is Inferno, signing off. Bye!